Hello and welcome everybody. Just give me another couple minutes. I'm gonna share the live link. Get some people connected here and we'll get started. Always appreciate the share and thanks for stopping by, checking out this this video. I hope the sound is significantly better than it was last time. I've played around with a lot of my hardware and settings and stuff, and I think this is working out a lot better. So fingers crossed it holds up and doesn't have any issues. Also, let me know if the audio balance is fine. I think I tweaked the balance between the music and the audio or the microphone, but just let me know. Out of curiosity, it sounds good or sounds better than last time? Because last time set the bar pretty low, so I just want to make that clarification now. I can EQ it out a little bit too. I think I'm able to make pretty live tweaks to this. Yeah, the last video was video quality was okay, but yeah, the audio quality was like really bad. Like there was so much interference. The noise from the background noise is like the same volume as my speech, and like, I don't know, it got bad sometimes. Also, this shouldn't freak out when I solder if I ever need to solder on camera again, which will also be fantastic. And yeah, I have a noise gate turned on, so thankfully, at least when I'm not talking, the background noise should be like completely gone and you'll just hear music instead of just background noise. So, hoping that works out pretty well too. I still don't dare to turn on the heater for down here. I don't even want to know that would do, even with this microphone. Like resin on one of my little scrapers here. Never even cleaned it up from last time. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, but my microphone is still not long enough for me to go grab the cat. I'm not very motivated to. Because, let's just be honest, you know she's not going to be good. She's just going to tear the place apart. Well, maybe I'll do a part of the video on like replacing these rollers or something, since that one person had an issue with them coming broken. That'll take a couple minutes. We can probably do that today. Look, okay, if you want the cat, you gotta join the kitty tech, or the kitty tips. I forget what line is called his other channel. It's like a cat tech tip channel, cat tip channel. I don't know. It's one of the two. But it's hilarious that he's doing that. I love it. Yeah, man. No issues with the FOKOOS ever. I haven't had, I mean, if there was wood around here to knock on, I'd be knocking on it, but I haven't had any issues. A lot of people have been, I think, having the same experience. I think there's only been, a handful of people who have had some weird stuff happen that just like accidentally slid through quality control or was like shipping damage or something like that. But yeah, I haven't had any issues. I got it, unboxed it, and I printed like 2 or 3 kilograms. I'd say closer to 3 kilograms worth of stuff off. I mean, all of this stuff up here. A ton of prototyping for all of those like parts. I did all of the Odin parts prototyping on the Odin itself. Among many other things, I printed out a couple of other fun accessories. Never an issue with it. The only thing I did was put the magnetic bed on it, because whenever you do these big prints, it's just so nice to have. Alright, well, I'm going to, I guess, get this going because we gotta get a print going. And I don't know if I want to speed print something in like a half an hour. I might want to do something a little bit nicer than I did last time. I do want to say that we're going to be doing pretty much the same thing we did last time. We're not doing the Price is Right rules. If you go over, you're still fine. Whoever gets the closest number, period, will win this spool of filaments, which I haven't opened. I don't know if it has a seal. It doesn't. Okay, so you will win this exact box with this exact filament that I recently won by being a part of the FOKOOS Facebook group. Was participating in a lot of conversations about firmware and stuff, so ended up winning that, which was fantastic, and now I'm going to pass that on to you guys. Not that I don't like their filament, but I think it's nice to do these giveaways to people who don't have a ton of filament. I also managed to get an accessory box, get my hands on an accessory box too, so we'll be able to open up this guy, check through what it's got. Like I said, we might just replace these wheels just because, honestly, I've put some miles in this thing already, and I think that this might be a good chance to show people, you know, if your wheels are kind of having some play or other issues, then yeah, it's not very scary to change out. And this box comes with, it's so much stuff. I don't know, I'm excited to open it. I want to play with it, but we'll worry about that afterwards. Then I also have this other box of fun stuff to play with that came with the printer, but yeah, tons and tons of stuff to play with. Yeah, Josh, I agree. I mean, I haven't done TPU yet, but I've done PLA, PLA+, PETG, and this other stuff. I don't remember what it was. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. But I had some random, like, Sharpied roll of filament that this guy gave me. I don't remember what it is. But, yeah, print's great. I haven't had any issues with it. It's pretty much just gone with whatever. I mean, that Volcano hot end really does carry this thing a long way with being able to print whatever you want. That and the hot end's direct attachment to the extruder here is fantastic. Hey, Learn, Make, and Repeat. Just stopping by to say hey, yeah. Well, thank you for stopping by. If you can, stop by again later, potentially, and participate in the giveaway. We'll get that, we'll try to get that going sooner rather than later, so that way, you know, if anybody's got to dip out a little bit early, then they can just come back and check to see if they've won versus sticking around for it. Yeah, man. I mean, look, there's more than a couple of profiles available on the Facebook group for this printer. You, me, and I think like 3 or 4 other people have uploaded a couple of them. Honestly, I only have like 1 up there. I need to get some more of mine fine-tuned and uploaded. I forget what I'm doing. I'm temperature, preheat, PLA. I'm going to preheat the machine, and I'm going to create a bed mesh because a lot of people have never seen that happen on video. So we're going to level the corners, and then we're going to create a bed mesh, and then we're going to start a print, probably have to do some baby stepping. I think there's an issue with baby stepping in my current firmware. I don't know why. It's the same logic that I was using on my previous firmware build, but for some reason on 2.0.9.1 it just isn't working great. So there's going to be a new firmware build using probably either the bug fix or 2.0.9.2. Or newer, hopefully, if it's out in like a week or 2. Fingers crossed, but... Hello, DB3D Dan. It's DB, right? Sorry, even with my glasses on, I'm still pretty blind. How's it going, man? Appreciate you stopping by. Well, I would say maybe I agree that winter must be present. But I don't think I'll hold people to that, because to be honest, people have lives and my streams always end up going over by like an hour from where they should have been. So I think I'm gonna reserve that one for maybe next time. But yeah, I think just to be fair, it's a small enough community, we can usually find the winners pretty quick. All right, this thing's, I'm sure, nearly almost warmed up. A little tiny bed with no glass, so we're already at about 45 degrees. Hot end's already warmed up, good to go. Get it cleaned off. And I'm probably do myself a favor. Oh my goodness. Do myself a favor and bring this filament back in a little tiny bit, just so it's not oozing super far out of the nozzle there. So yeah, the plan is we're going to build a mesh. Well, we're going to corner level the machine. We're going to level the corners. And then we're going to build a mesh. Start a print. Talk about some stuff. And have somebody win some things. We're going to learn some lessons. We're going to not make any mistakes, but some happy accidents. And we'll go from there. Alright, cool. Should be close. Yep, 58 degrees. Alright. Maybe I should second camera angle for this guy, because I think that would make a lot of sense. Gotta find the app here. This isn't my favorite setup. At some point in time, I might end up changing this guy around too, but it works okay for now, I think. I'm gonna have to go a little bit lower, I think. Or I might just have to turn off those overhead lights. I don't think there's gonna be a way to get rid of that glare. Oh, wait. I think we got it. Oh. I'll call that. This camera changed over here. That one. One day I will figure out a cool way to do easy transitions. Like if somebody's got a way to hook like a clapper up to the transition thing where I can just like clap and then it switches cameras, that would be just fantastic. So I get down here, super intimate with the printer with you guys. Down here on camera level. What we're gonna do, so we need to go into the menu. Go to something. I forget where it's under. It's under motion, I think. Sorry. It's been so long. I use 3D touch, DL touch type thing, so I don't really do this ever. We need to go under bed leveling. So all right, let's get rid of a lot of this clutter. So we'll go here. Here you go to motion. Down to bed leveling. Bed tramming. I'm gonna home the X and the Y. And the Z. I'm gonna say next corner. Camera tilted up here. So wish that there was a much better way for me to do this. Oh wait, look, I got some zoom here too. Excellent. All right. So normally I'll just kind of get down on eye level and observe the nozzle's height, because you can see it's lifted off the bed there, and then if you loosen it, it touches the bed. Some people do the paper method, which, to be honest, is, I guess it's faster for some people. So you just grab your piece of paper of some various size. I'm gonna tear this in half. Absolutely unmanageable. I wouldn't say that that's half, by the way, so if I ever say I'm gonna give you half of something, call me a liar and don't believe me. So I'm gonna slide this under the nozzle here, and just adjust this knob until it just starts grabbing the paper. A little back off, just until I feel it touching the paper. Then I'm gonna hit next for the next corner. Slide over here, same thing. See, the paper's passing under it with absolutely no effort, so this one needs to be loosened up a little bit more to bring the bed up. Perfect. Next. Deal. Bed. I can remember which way does what things. Go. And next, for the final corner, I recommend, especially if you have really, really bad leveling issues, that you do this at least for a good lap or two. And what I mean by like lap or two is, I mean like go around the bed at least, I mean one whole time for sure. You don't want to do just 3 corners or something. But what you do want to do is a whole other lap of the bed, because your second lap is what's going to really kind of fine-tune your leveling, because you'll get it really, really close, but then you'll have some issues with, say, like, you know, your last corner over here or something being thrown out of whack once it's sort of tilted back to where it's going to rest at. I don't know, I'm bad at explaining some things sometimes. If you need clarification on that, let me know. But basically, if once you get it fully tilted, it's going to sort of offset your other corners and stuff. So doing a second lap, you're really just kind of dialing in that last little bit. This bed's really not ever been too unlevel, so I'm not too worried about getting this guy incredibly dialed in, but the closer you get this before you do your mesh, the better, because that it means it's going to be compensating less than, say, if you had your bed tilted and then you made a mesh, because then it's got to compensate for that tilt as well as the mesh. So almost done here. Too far. Excellent. So once you're done doing that, some people have gotten confused here, myself included the first time I ever did this, but you have to hit done instead of next. So click over to the done side and then hit that. And then that part will be wrapped up. Give me 1 sec, I'm gonna go check on comments and stuff, see if there's any questions or anything before we do the actual bed mesh. Just gonna zoom in on the screen with the phone. Is that like a throwback to like Hollywood movies back when they would used to like project the computer's screen on the face of the actor? Like they're just at the computer and they're like, I'm hacking the mainframe, and it would just like show text like all over their face and body and stuff. Like there's at least 2 or 3 movies that I remember doing that, and like I don't know, I can never get over it. It's hilarious every single time. Oh, it looks like Dora's made it. Hey Dora. Hello. Thank you for stopping by, checking out the video. I hope it's much better than the last one in terms of quality. It looks like we don't have any questions about this process so far, so I think we're going to move directly into creating the bed mesh and then starting our print. So creating the bed mesh is extremely similar to what we just did. We're just going to be doing it to a lot more points in the bed. You want to make sure that your bed is extremely clean. There's nothing built up on your nozzle or anything, because we're literally going to be like making a like map of the bed. So yeah, that needs to be situated there. Let's see. Maybe I'll I'm gonna bring this up some, angle it down. I think we'll be able to see a little bit better kind of what's going on. Even if there's some glare on the screen, I'm not too worried about that. That's just going to show what it's going to ask us to do next. So we're going to go into that same menu. Motion. Bed leveling. We're going to level bed. Going to home, X, Y, and Z again. You'll get your paper ready. Just click to begin. I'm going to probe the first spot. And when I say probe, it's just going to sort of move the nozzle into position. And now it's up to you to change your I forget what this is called, but it's like the position of each little spot of your mesh. But you're going to have to change this manually. So this is a time-consuming process, and you want to make sure you take your time with it, because if you don't do it right, then it wasn't really worth doing, because it can actually cause problems if it's not 100% proper. That one's at 0. Started grabbing on the paper, so we'll do the second point. And if you've leveled your bed perfectly and you don't really have a warped printing surface, then realistically you don't have to create a mesh. But as you can see here, I'm already 0.05 millimeters out on the second point compared to the first point, which is at 0. So it's worth making a mesh. right at the same, yep, 0.05. That one's okay. 0. I'm not even checking if you can see anything. Hold on. Let me move this camera a little bit. We're just going to keep doing this for all 25 points, and once we're done, then the machine itself is going to compensate for your bed being not perfectly level. And when I say level, please don't bring out like a bubble leveling thing and try to level your bed. It's called tramming. Realistically, I mean, we've shown with the videos you can print upside down. It doesn't matter how you're printing with the machine. This surface here needs to be level with this bar here. Otherwise, if it's sort of higher or lower on one side, then it's going to sort of ride that axis sort of instead of changing. So the mesh is supposed to fix that. The mesh is how you get around that, but it only works to some extent. You really only want to compensate by, at most, I think it's like 1 millimeter or something like that. So if you have one of your corner that's like 1 millimeter higher, 2 millimeters higher, 3 millimeters higher than the other corner, then like really go back and try to re-level your bed and make sure that it's kind of like a, you know, at a really good base of level before you do your mesh. Bed leveling is like the single most annoying and single most important thing about 3D printing, because if you have perfect bed level, then like most of your other issues are going to be hardware issues rather than, I'm sorry, well, you're going to have a lot of profile issues too. I'm sorry, there's a lot of issues with every aspect of 3D printing. Nothing about this is easy. I'm sorry, you've probably picked the wrong hobby going into this like I did. I was like, oh cool, I'm going to make stuff. No, we haven't perfected 2D printing in like 50 years of printers. I don't see why we would have done it to 3D printing, but you know what? We're getting there. We're gonna have the day where we have machines that aren't $5,000 that you can just hit print and everything just works without any adjusting or anything. But till then, get yourself a nice base 3D printer. Don't go buy a really janky platform. Something like this is, I would say, is definitely the starting place for most people. Should be something like this printer. It has so few issues. It has so few parts to go wrong compared to most other designs that are very popular. I think Josh said something about like he basically just gave his, I don't know if he's like gave it, but his father has possession of his Odin currently, and he just gave it to him. We're talking about just giving a senior citizen a 3D printer and saying, yeah, here, go have fun, and he's able to do it. So allegedly, I don't know, I haven't followed up with it, but I don't think that I'd have any issues getting like my little sister or something involved with 3D printing if she had something like this. But knowing that if I came directly from not really having that much experience with 3D printers into owning a CR10S Pro, or I'm sorry, a regular CR10S, and I had nothing but problems constantly. In fact, I had tons of issues. The bed was really warped, and this was like, on a time where firmware really was starting to get kind of good with making meshes and things, but I don't know. You don't want to have to start with your first 3D printer by needing to install firmware to just be able to compensate for the issues that it has. So buying a printer that maybe costs a little bit more than the competition, I think this guy is a little bit more than an Ender, but at the end of the day, the amount of extra features and quality you get with this printer over an Ender is just insane. It saves you so much of a headache too. In fact, I think it even has a better warranty than the Creality printers too. I don't think that they have a 1-year warranty. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Creality. I'm not really trying to get any kind of channel affiliation with them, so I don't have to say positive things, but I just won't say anything at all or something. I was raised that way or something. By the way, if anybody knows how to fast forward real life so we can get to the end of this mesh, please let me know. I would love to just sort of fast forward through manual mesh creation. We're only on point 19 of 25. We're getting there. Back left corner, I think, is a little bit too high. I might have to raise my Z switch a little bit. My Z end stop, I should say. That way I can level out that bed a little bit better. Almost done, and then I'll be able to go back and check on comments and see how wrong I am about many, many things. Hopefully we're learning things today. And last point, finally. Okay, leveling done. Goodness, that's annoying. And tedious, and bothersome, and I don't like it. But afterwards, that sound should have been the save mesh sound, but I'm still going to go in here and do store settings because I'm the kind of guy who clicks on the save icon like 7,000 times because I don't trust technology. So I'm going to get us kicked over to the other camera, get this guy turned off because we're wasting battery on it. That one. Excellent. All right, so we have the mesh created. Bed is leveled and mesh is created. The last thing that we're gonna have to end up doing is probably baby stepping. Unless you have a feeler gauge or something like that, you know exactly how thick your layer is. But even then, I still do it visually because I don't usually math my first layer. I like to get it so it looks like it's putting down the first layer perfectly rather than mathing the first layer. So let's see what we got for comments here. Yeah, 25-point leveling. It's pretty crazy, but you know, if you really need to get a part that's the size of the bed and you just have a crazy warp in one spot and you just can't get past it, creating a mesh really helps to really make things stick. I mean, you know, I like to use this as an example, but if you have a low spot in your bed, it's going to cause, you know, this part to not stick very well while the rest of the print sticks very well to it. So that mesh leveling is incredibly crucial for printing very, very large prints. For smaller stuff, it's not a big deal. You know, you print a benchy or something like that, a couple benches even, it's not that big of a deal. But you know, getting that multi-point leveling bed mesh created, basically what you're doing is the 3D touch that goes around and it touches the bed and all the different spots and stuff. You're doing that, but manually, so it takes forever. But you're getting that same quality mesh built for your map built for your bed. That causes it to make those compensations. So it's a really, really powerful tool that I super enjoy having. And it looks like I forgot to bring something on. But all right, cool. Let's see what other we got. What other things we have for comments? Sorry, I can't talk. Yeah, if you go type in a Google search for like unlevel bed for 3D printers, or to be honest, just browse the Facebook groups. I mean, like, it's like almost comical, but leveling your bed is like the #1 problem that I think people have with 3D printers, assuming you're not having any other hardware or like profile issues or something. But you know, if you're just trying to print a benchy or something and you just can't get that thing to stick to the bed, you know, hairspray and glue stick, these are all wonderful tools and things that should, you know, be in your arsenal, but you know, PLA should just stick to glass unheated. You know, if you look at most recommendations from manufacturers, they'll tell you, you know, heated bed temperature is 0 to 60 degrees, and it's because, yeah, like, you know, if your bed is leveled and you have proper, like, cleaned, non-oiled surface, you have that thing spotlessly clean, yeah, you're gonna print well. But the second that bed is a little bit out of level, it's just not gonna stick. It's gonna be too far, it's gonna be too close, or, you know, it's gonna be both because it's just completely unlevel, or, you know, is the bed mesh absolutely critical? But nah, but like at the same time, like if you're gonna be using the printer a lot and you're gonna try to utilize a lot of different spots in the bed, like especially if you do multi-part printing, if you're trying to print like 30 parts out on the bed, yeah, you definitely want to run a bed mesh, because you don't want one of those parts coming detached while the rest of them are, you know, perfect, and then you have to cancel the whole print. It's just a mess. But all right. Suggestion, this stream's current bitrate is higher than the recommended. I don't care, shut up, I have internet for it, go away. Unless I don't, maybe. I don't know, are we having any issues, any stuttering or weird things happening? I don't know, it doesn't look like it in the preview, but I could be wrong. I guess let me know. I have to figure out what we're gonna be printing. We might do another speed benchy, but I think we're gonna probably pass on that guy. I think we're gonna try something else. If you guys want to comment Thingiverse links to stuff that takes like 30 minutes to print, 30-40 minutes, because I think a benchy is supposed to take about an hour, and I think we knocked one out in like 24 minutes last time. So like maybe something that takes an hour, and then I'll see if I can compress it down, but I didn't want to like super extra do us dirty. That'd be bad. So yeah, let's try to keep it somewhat short. But yeah, send me a link. I'm gonna do a little bit of browsing really quick, see if there's anything that's super cool that catches my eye. Wait, how long does the FOKOOS bot, FOKOBot? I forgot what we called him, what his name was. Well, yeah, tell me what's his deal. Tell me what's good there. How long does he take to print normally? I go library and find out. And I will drop a link to the FOKOOS model library in the description of this video after I'm done as well. I forgot to do that last time, but I have all the links to purchase all of the FOKOOS equipment, the printer, the glass bed, the accessory pack, the PLA Plus, both red and white, all of that's in the description. If you have any questions or concerns before purchasing, then, you know, if you have a way of getting in touch with Dora, then she can absolutely take care of you. She's a wonderful sales associate. I don't know if she has a higher position title. I haven't asked personally, but I feel like she definitely is just like the owner running around in disguise, because she takes care of everybody's problems. She's definitely the person to talk to. The upside down guy. Like in the files or something? Can't find. I thought there was like a newer version of the robot. Find it. Hey Dora, can you do me a favor and send me a link to the FOKOBot? I'm seeing one here on the model library, but I'm not sure if it's like the newest one. I think the one I keep seeing in the pictures looks different. Sorry, just trying to verify this still. Still searching, sorry. I feel like at this point it would have been faster for me to go upstairs and just grab it off the actual desktop. Pretty sure I had the one that I saw online. Pretty sure. Or maybe it is the same one, I don't know. Is this it? I think this is it. Ah, yes. And yeah, Dora just sent me the same one. Excellent. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was like, that's so much prettier than the other one. All right, yeah, I'm glad I waited. All right. Get this downloaded. We'll see how wiggly I can get it on a speed print, because I feel like this is supposed to be like a 2 or 3 hour print. But we'll see, hold on. If I can get it to be like 30-ish minutes. Okay, open in Cura, get this going here. Yeah, there's a new 2.0 Flexi version out now, even. They're getting fancier and fancier. I think the newest one, the 2.0, doesn't need supports either, I think was the main thing. Oh my goodness. Maybe I do need to bring the actual computer down here. This is horribly, horribly slow every time I'm streaming anything. Poor old-timey i7 is pegged at 100%. But hey, we're only using 6 gigs of RAM. I guess we got that going for us, which is nice. Okay, still waiting for Kira to launch. Alright, there we go. Finally. With the same ludicrous settings as last time. I think this might still be too long of a print. We'll see. Oof. Still a 2-hour print. So I think the FlexiBot may be out. Maybe I'll have to do that on another one where I'll just like start the stream with this print. I mean, I can scale it down potentially. I think 50% would take it down to like half an hour, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna lose articulation. Actually, I think printing it full size at those speeds, we're still gonna lose articulation, but we'll see. Hold on. Okay, so we can get that down to about a half an hour, but I want to... I want to change something. Hold on. Okay. Maybe we can still pull this off? Alright, it looks like we might be able to get this to still work functionally, but it's going to be a 37-minute long print. Gonna work? Yeah, because scaled down this small, I can't exactly just leave the layer heights at crazy high. 0.32 at, you know, a couple millimeters tall is pretty substantial difference. All right, as long as we're okay with that, I'll go ahead and send it. 37 minutes. It's probably going to be closer to like 32, maybe. Sure, I didn't set that first layer too fast. No, it's okay. I'm just checking one more setting here. Okay, slicing. Saving, ejecting. So the only thing that we need to do is go over baby stepping, I think. Otherwise, we are ready to print. Go away. Go away. We are printing a FOKOBot 2.0. Hopefully articulating robot. But these are optimistic settings to try to get this done within a pessimistic set of time here. I don't have a better way of saying that. Oof. Have to keep this guy within charger distance. Got to charge up my actual phone before the stream. This set here. Oh yeah, wait, we need to be able to see the screen. I forgot. Right, one more moment. Get this set up. This camera switched over. Find the appropriate screen. Oh my goodness, behave. Okay. So we're going to first do my favorite thing and pre-season the bed with a little tiny bit of hairspray. Because every little bit helps. Let a second to evaporate off. Going to be doing... Man, I put that light in like the worst spot. Like if I get rid of that one light, we'll be able to see this whole screen. There's no other lights, well, except for the actual light. But even that light I can get rid of. Right in that one little sweet spot right there. Okay, yeah, I'm annoyed by this. Okay, well, this way. The whole giant light shot. Okay. I promise you, the amount of lights I've had to use here is disturbing. Be able to make it as crisp as it looks. All right, we're good here. We're gonna go ahead and get this started. Down to print from media, and we're gonna do the Flexi Fokobot. Print. Gonna home. Double tap this button here. It's gonna bring up the baby stepping menu. And it's going to go over here. You just observe visually. It is a little tiny bit high on the nozzle, and it's going to be hard to get this on camera and baby step at the actual same time, but I will try to... Oh, dope, we don't actually have the baby step here, but look at this zoomed in here, kind of. Yeah, you basically just want to make sure that your skirt is going down without the layers piling on top of each other. I have baby stepped down by 0.15 millimeters in order to get it to where it is right now. And it looks like the layers are all going down next to each other without any air gaps or any weird things in between. So I'm gonna let this print. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK on this. Going to go in here. This is where I think the issue is right now currently with the firmware is I don't think it's auto-saving the baby stepping, so whenever you go to print again, you're gonna have to baby step it again, which is really annoying, but I'm hoping that I can fix that in the next firmware release and or just a hot fix of the current firmware. So let's get this back out to the main menu here. But yeah, I'll go ahead and set this out of the way, switch back to the other camera, and yeah. Did we auto switch? Oh, it auto switched. Oh, I love this thing. What a fancy program here. Look, man, if I kill the fans, I have a reason to build a cooling shroud for this printer. You should absolutely not complain about me murdering these guys. And this first layer looks gorgeous, by the way. Very happy with how that's turning out. FOKOOS PLA Plus, as usual, coming in with a perfect printing experience. Which firmware is that? This is my firmware. Yes, as Dora mentioned, it is my firmware. I think FOKOOS firmware has the issue where it's not saving baby steps. I don't think FOKOOS firmware has baby stepping. It doesn't have the ability to create a mesh. I'm trying to think. It's running the MKS Robin motherboard and LCD. I think it's the Robin 1.2 or 1.1. I think it's the 1.1. Hold on, let me have I think I have a picture of it in here. Give me 1 second. Like, concerned if I don't. Stop transitioning to the other phone. Might take me a tiny bit of time to find. I don't remember when the last time I took a picture of the bottom of the Odin with the cover off was, but it has been... Nope, it's right there. It's the MKS Robin Nano version 1.2. Actually, I have a... I printed out a whole spec sheet this time. Oh my goodness, I'm so unprepared. Alrighty. Yeah, I've worked with a bit of the MKS firmware in the past. I'm not a super big fan of the MKS hardware. I'm not going to go on a super long rant about it, but like, I'm not a huge fan for their firmware capabilities. I think that the BTT is a little bit more customizable and a little bit more user friendly. But overall, I honestly like. That's an MKS problem more than it's a FOKOOS problem. For example, Creality ships printers that have also no real baby stepping and no real manual mesh creation, but their firmware is like, I mean, they run standard Marlin. They like, you could just add it the same way that I added it on this printer. Like, you can add it on their printers, and they just didn't. I don't, like, it's the goofiest stuff. And their printers are like $500–600. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go on another Creality rant. Please stop me. I need like a buzzer whenever I start going on a Creality rant. Somebody just like hits that button. I think I need to plug in my other phone here, just in case I need it as a camera later. But yeah, while we're sitting here, while we have the whole class gathered here today, let's go ahead and get the weight callouts for this guy done. Like I said, we're not going to be doing any sort of weird rules. Closest guess wins, period. If you're in the US or basically, if I can flat rate this thing to you from USPS for no additional cost to me, that'd be great. So preferably US entries only for the 1 kilogram of PLA Plus here that I'm currently printing with on this machine. Which at some point in time, just for pretty's sake, I really should turn my spool holder around so you can see the label while it's printing. But yes, so yeah, let's get our weight guesses in. If you guess within, you know, a certain amount of weight compared to somebody else who guesses a certain amount of weight, then you could win the spool instead of them. Those are how the giveaways usually work. Anyway, so yeah, guess your weight. I would say, all right, I think Germany is going to cost like, I'll tell you what, bud. Dora, I think Dora sells in Germany. I'm pretty sure they do. Okay, so Dora, if you could answer for me if you guys sell filament in Germany. Tell you what, bud, if you win, I'll just buy one and I'll have it sent to you personally. I'll just I'll foot the bill for you because I think it's going to be cheaper to do that than it would be for me to send you this roll. But I think they only sell in US and Germany right now. I don't think they sell to the UK or anything like that. But I would need for sure a verification from Dora before I'd be able to accept your entry. But you do have like 30 minutes, so we got a little bit of time. So yeah, hopefully Dora gets back to me in a couple minutes on whether or not they have a retail location either in Amazon or their website or something. I could just place an order from them, get that situated. But yeah, place your guess. I would say it's anywhere between ½ gram and 1 kilogram, even though it's not going to use the whole spool. But you know, I can't give away the weight. I'm not going to give you any guesses or any hints or anything like that. But yeah, let's get some guesses in. Get to how many grams is the FOKOBot V2 articulated robot? As printed by my 100mm per second printing profile. Which, by the way, we're not doing super lightning speed. I wanted to give this thing like a slight chance of being able to actually move and not just be like a little flat robot. So yeah, what do we got for a guess? Let's get some guesses out there while this guy prints. And while we get the guesses going on your weights here, I will start talking about some of the things that you can buy. Actually, give me one moment. I'm going to go grab the last piece of this puzzle really quick. Yeah, give me one sec. Found it. All right, cool. How much time does the print need? Probably another 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Not very long. We're going to go over some of the stuff that we got here. Wait. I think I have everything. No, I don't have everything FOKOOS sells. They sell an RGB LED strip, and I need to go buy that. It's the only thing I think that they sell that I don't have. But we have the glass bed here. I believe it's currently on Amazon for $26, $25.99 with a $5 off coupon. So about $21 for this guy here. As far as glass beds go, I think it's about what the standard of quality should be. I think that, you know, it's reasonably flat. I don't think that I've seen one pop up that's been like horribly warped. So it's definitely not cheap glass. It's just, you know, I would say it's your standard glass. It's what you should, if you're buying glass, you should buy this glass. It's what you should get. Has the textured coating, and I forget what this is. It's like some sort of carbon coating or something. It makes it so it's a little bit more durable. It has a little bit of a texture to it, so your prints will stick to it a little bit easier than the flat side. But if you do want to flip it over and get that mirror flat glass, you can. It's not textured on both sides, so this isn't specifically for the FOKOOS Odin. This will work on other machines of the exact same print size, the 235 by 235. So, you know, machines like Enders, the G-Tech A10 series, printers like that, they'll fit it no problem. I think the Aquila even, I think, is 235 by 235. But so yeah, decent. No issues with it. I switched over to magnetic PEI just because I do a lot of large prints and I'm really lazy and impatient, so I like to be able to just crack prints off right away. But hopefully that'll be something that they directly offer themselves. I would like to see them branch out to some of the sort of like mod sides of things for some upgrades. That'd be kind of cool. Wouldn't put it past them to do that. They already put out a lot of stuff already for being a very, very new company in the field here. So we have that. We have the red and white filaments. This is the sample that came with the printer itself. I haven't really sort of dove into this too much. I think the only thing that we printed with this before, I think, was only like a... What did we print with this before? Did we do the benchy in this? No, we did a red benchy. I have no idea what I printed with this. Anyway, so we have that. I have the white spool, which I've almost completely gone through, and the red spool, which is about the same. I gotta say, she's just got about the same left on it. I have had no issues with this stuff. I'm printing right around 190, I think 190 to 195, depending. I think the white, I think I'm doing 190. I'm doing 195 on this and 190 on the red on my normal profile. I think it's a little bit below what they recommend. I think it's, you know, 205Cs is what they recommend, but you know, I'm printing 190, 195 with a Volcano hot end. It doesn't really matter. You usually get a little bit more flexibility with your low temperature materials. So yeah, no complaints there. I like it. Prints great. I think they're going to be branching out with some other colors soon, which is going to be fantastic. I think she said something about like a rainbow spool or something is going to be on the way, which is, I can't wait. it's great. I really like their filament. Always comes, as far as I've seen, you know, really wrapped well. It doesn't have one of those super photogenic lined up sort of wraps, but honestly, I don't want to pay for that. So if you're not going to add it to the cost of the product, then cool, I'll take it for a freebie. But, you know, I think that the fact that it comes untangled and very consistent, meaning it's wound nice and consistent across side to side and it's not all piled up on one side or something, that's a better indicator of spool's quality rather than it being photogenic. You know, think of it like fruit. It might just have a little bruise on it or something, but it's, you know, might be better tasting than the one that looks perfect. So their filaments currently, I forgot to discuss pricing on that, but their current pricing on the PLA Plus in red or white for the 1 kilogram is $25.99 with also a $5 off coupon. So it brings you to $21 on Amazon for their filaments. Let me, I think I will have to give a little bit of a, I always forget to give more info. I had to scale the bot down by 50%. Everybody can get a re-guess if they've already guessed, but the bot has been scaled down by 50% in order to make print times plausible. Otherwise, it'd be a 2+ hour print or something like that for the full size. So it's a half-size Foko bot. Anybody who's already put a number up, I will allow you to put another number up. No more than 2 guesses total at this point, just because I'm doing a take-backsy thing here. I want to make sure that everybody gets a fair guess here. But yes, this is scaled at 50%, not a full-size print. So the only reason why I have to mention this is because every guess in here is very high for what is essentially just a not even, I think, 3-inch tall little model Foko bot here. So get a second guess in if you've already guessed. If you haven't guessed, keep that in mind. This is a roughly 35 to 40 minute print of a 50% scaled Foko bot version 2. I just didn't want to mislead anybody there with that, because I think I did that last time with the Benchy. I think I scaled it or something. But anyways, all right, back to what we're doing here. So yeah, make sure you get your guess in. If you've already guessed, you get your second guess in. I'm not going to hold it against you, but yeah, all of those guesses were for sure high. So if you have guessed, make sure you guessed for your half-size Foko bot, not your full size. So we've gone over our filaments, which again, absolutely in love. Good stuff. These are some sample stuff that I printed on some other filaments. I think this is G-Tech PLA. This is G-Tech Silk. This is the PLA Plus. I think these are actually the files that came with the card too. And you know, despite being a very long print, by the way, I think that'd be my one actual complaint with most printer manufacturers is that the test prints that they send you are like hours and hours and hours long. I think that most people who get a 3D printer and would be interested in printing the files that come on the SD card, I think they would love to be able to just hit print and like 30-40 minutes later they just have like something. So maybe change the settings a little bit less infill. Detail looks great on it, so I can see why you definitely want to have it take forever. Like, you know, the profile you guys have for this stuff is great, for sure. Good job on that, but it just takes so long to print these test prints. And I think there was a Creality print that was like 14 hours long, or it's like, I can't see any newbie putting a file in their printer and hitting print for like the day. Like, I don't think anybody out there would trust their machine that much. That'd be so scary. But I think the longest print that I think on this was, I think when I did both of these at the same time, I think it was the same print. I think that was like 6 or 8 hours or something like that. It was quite a long print, but not too big of a deal. So we're at the final thing that I wanted to open because I haven't opened it yet. And this is the accessory pack. This is what you buy if you have an Odin and you want to be prepared in the event that anything goes wrong. Almost anything. There's a little caveat there, a little asterisk we'll assume is just on the screen. Where you will get a ton of spare parts that you really will find handy. The first thing I think that goes on everybody's printer would be this runout sensor. They've included a brand new one in the package here. I was gonna do a little bit of a minor modification to this guy where you do you brush on a tiny bit of super glue on top of the plastic here, and it helps to add a little bit of resistance against wear. I've also seen some people, they'll coat it with like a little bit of PTF, or not an actual PTFE, but like a brush on PTFE, it's like a nail polish basically that you kind of brush onto things to make it so it's less drag. There's a couple things, little cheat code tricks that you can do to make this guy last a little bit longer until hopefully we get like a metal switch replacement. But to be honest, I just don't run them. I don't run them in my entire print farm. I've just gotten really good at guessing filament weights. But you get 2 extra ribbon cables, so if either one of your ribbon cables are broken, and by the way, just to sort of pack this on with what they include in the actual box of the printer, if you buy this accessory pack, we'll get here first. Sorry, I'm getting excited, but 2 ribbon cables, you will get 2 basically drop-in hot end assemblies, preloaded with PTFE tubing, preloaded with thermistors, preloaded with nozzles, preloaded with heaters and everything. Literally, you just unscrew this guy from your machine, drop it out, unplug all the connectors on it, plug all the new stuff in, put this up in there and keep printing. Like, this is amazing. I love that you guys did this. Good job. 10 of 10 for doing this. Like, newbies, I hate to say it, but you guys can't rebuild hot ends. Like, I've seen so many people try and fail. Like, you'll forget the PTFEs, you'll forget. And look, I used to be a newbie too. I'm not downing you, but like, it just happens. Like, if you're new and you need to get parts for your printer and you need to I need to put this part in my printer to print, you're gonna just put it in there, hopefully just assuming that it's ready to go, and then get the parts and find out that you have a ton of work to do. And that's just not the case here. Like, this is literally just a drop-in replacement for it. Like, it just, again, perfect, love it. These slot rollers, I think you get a total quantity of 6 in here. Yep, okay, so you get 6 rollers, which I think is enough for the bed and for the X. Okay, so it's not enough for the bed because you need 4 for the bed, but you'd be able to do this guy in totality and then have enough to do 3 of your 4 rollers from your bed. And I'm not sure if you can convert this over to a 3 roller setup. Some of them are, but I don't think you can with this one. Doesn't look like it. But yeah, so you're one wheel short of being able to basically get an entire rebuild out of your rollers here, aside from your Z, which basically never ever wears out. So yeah, this box, this accessory pack with 2 ribbon cables, 2 heater blocks with thermistors, nozzles, and the heaters, 6 roller wheels, and this handy little screwdriver, which I haven't checked yet on how that comes apart. Maybe it's a flathead. I'm not sure why it's a flathead, but we have a little flathead screwdriver just because. This is $25.99 on Amazon. And again, you get basically 2 entirely new hot ends with heaters and everything. If you do the math on buying like 2 Mark 8 Creality hot ends and building them and everything, like, it's the cost of 2 hot ends, and then you get all of this extra stuff for free. The runout sensor and even if you don't use it and you don't need the wheels, you're basically getting 2 free ribbon cables, which is the only other real wear item on this machine that I think could go wrong quickly would be the ribbon cables. And I say quickly, but like, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of use, I'm sure, per ribbon cable before it fails. But like, these are the only parts that you can't just go on Amazon and buy. It's a somewhat proprietary part to the printer. And not only does this accessory pack give you 2, but in the actual accessory pack you get with the machine, you get another ribbon cable. So now, if you buy this guy, you have 3 total spare ribbon cables. You will have a set of 2 nozzles, as well as the 2 nozzles that come with the 2 spare hot ends. So tons of reloads for that guy. We have all of the tools you will ever need in terms of working on this printer. I said in the last video about these drivers with handles, which I absolutely cannot recommend enough. But in terms of the required parts or tools to work on the printer, they're all here. So yeah, no complications with that. Needles, other things. I just have some general parts in here that I've taken off, like the glass bed clips and the old runout sensor here, which I think I'll probably do a runout sensor video on how to prevent this from happening on your new runout sensor, prolonging its life, that kind of thing. I think I'm going to keep these separated still, just for reasons. But yeah, so, I don't think that if you're afraid of running out of parts of this printer or anything, or you know, it's like, oh, it's so scary, it has these ribbon cables or something. Like, I don't know. I mean, once you lock in this ribbon cable that's actually moving constantly, I think I haven't seen anybody have a problem with the ribbon cables. They just, I mean, there's a reason why they were used here. It's because they've been used a lot, pretty much all across the world for almost ever. And yeah, ribbon cables are just durable. They don't really, I mean, assuming you don't come by with some scissors or something, like, yeah, they should hold up to a lot of abuse. All right, got a bunch of guesses in here. That's good. Glad to see that that has been participated in. Whoa, we are actually almost done with this, come to think of it, or come to see. Cool, so I think we discussed all that. I think the last thing is I can go over some of the specs of the printer. We talked about a lot of this already, but currently it's on Amazon for $360 with a $50 off coupon, $359.99 with a $50 off coupon, so it's $309.99 on Amazon. And that's at the current time of this video. Build plate's 235 by 235 by 250 vertical. It's got a 32-bit Robin Nano version 1.2 with 2208 stepper drivers, and it has a total of 4 of these guys, and they're soldered to the board. They're not the removable type that's typically featured with this board. But it's normal with OE applications for them to just sort of bundle all of this stuff together just to save costs. So I don't fault them for that. But it does have it for the X, Y, Z, and E. The Z is shared on the single 2208 for the Z axis. So it's got an MKS Robin Nano LCD to fit the board. It's I think it has to be used with a Robin Nano LCD. I don't think it has a standard header for the output. Yeah, I don't think it does. So I think you have to use it with a Robin Nano LCD, or you have to swap both things at the same time if you want to upgrade one or the other. You kind of got to do them both. 240 watt power supply. It's got a BICU H2 styled. It's actually, I'm sorry, it's an H2 V2 style direct drive extruder. So it really sort of compacts the entire hot end together. It's been coupled with a Volcano style hot end on it. And that's sort of what makes this package like the premium version. There's a version that doesn't use the Volcano hot end, which does not perform as well in my observations. I don't personally own one, but from videos that I've seen, a lot of people prefer these Volcano ones substantially, and I would definitely agree if asked. Otherwise, yeah, I don't have any qualms with any of their performance of their products, their filaments, or the glass plate that was included with the printer, or that you can purchase separately, or anything like that. So yeah, it looks like we are pretty much ready to pull this plate off. And got a little stringy. I think actually I was supposed to run this one at the lower temp. Or I just didn't set my retractions high enough. You know, I have my doubts on whether or not this is going to articulate, but well, we'll see. I'll bring the camera in here so you can see too. I gotta find it, still finding it. Not that one. Too many apps. And see if this is gonna auto switch. Didn't. It'd be cool if it did. I'd be so happy. Okay. Yeah, there we go. There's our pleated little guy here. Like I said, a little bit of stringy just because the profile, again, I'm printing at like 100 millimeters per second on some guesses and some whims here. But hey, 100 millimeters per second, scaled down to 50%. I think I left the layers at 0.25 millimeter. Line width is at like 0.5 millimeter or something goofy like that. I don't think it turned out so bad, you know? It might be like a good 1 footer part, but if you haven't cast your vote, I would cast it now. I think we've basically got the firehouse here. All right, let's get this guy cracked off. Auto switched? Auto switched, okay. Oh, it's kind of moving. I want to be gentle. Oh. Oh, look at that. Oh, look, it's so wobbly still. Oh, it's so cute. All right, tell you what. Are your hips okay? Can you sit? Are you a sitter? I don't think it's made to sit. I think it's trying. Just kind of hang out there for a second. I'm so surprised that that moves around. This printer is so fantastic. Joshua, you get one guess. Can't do like one guess number. I'm sorry. Wait. Did you get a previous number? Hold on. I don't think you guessed before. Yeah, I don't think you guessed before. Okay, so you get one guess because it's after. But keep in mind, this guy's 50% scale. So he's not going to weigh as much as, you know, maybe the big one. But I'm still freeing up all of its little joints here. Like, everything's cute when it's printed at half size. Are its claws supposed to open? Oh yeah, no, they're fused. Okay, so for sure the claws are not going to move. But everything else is moving great. Got this little wonky, can't stand up, can't sit down kind of guy. So the lowest guess that someone else hasn't had, that's my guess. Okay, so we did... Where's the first set of guessing? We're starting like here. Okay, so the lowest that somebody else doesn't have, I think is 12, because I see 15, 30, 11, I'm sorry, 15, 11, 9, 13, 5, 8, 11, I'm sorry, 16, because Charles changed it. Okay, so yeah, I think 12 is going to be your guess. If that's going to be your number, you got to lock that in. And if you don't specifically say lock that in, then I'm banning you from this channel forever. I'm sorry, Josh. I mean, I'm not really that sorry, but I'm a little sorry. It's starting to get dusty, man. I gotta come out in here and make some more content with this printer. Looking neglected. All right, 12 it is. All right, so we got... I forgot we could do this thing too. Put him on his little pedestal thing. Make him fancy. Look at that. Look at that. Uh-huh. Like the third dumbest thing I've ever bought. Like doesn't want to focus. There it goes. Okay. All right. Enough playing with that. Camera back. All right. Where is my conspicuous looking scale? There it is. All right, let's get this guy weighed up. Play. That doesn't make sense. All right. Will it auto switch? I don't think it's going to auto switch this time. I think it's if I disconnect it while it's in use, it'll like have switch. All right, get this tear done. And our FOKO buddy. Walk his butt over here to the scale. .57 grams. Goodness, buddy. Hold on, make sure your head's on there. I don't. That's. Oh goodness. I want what this guy is having for his diet. 6.57 and a half. Maybe 6.5. Look, nobody guessed half grams. I think we're just gonna have to call that it's 6.5 grams here. All right, so who was the least guess? Because I don't think there was many people in the single digits here. We have working our way up here. Josh would be 12. Charles would be 16. Or 11, but either way, you still lost. Chris is at 8. C3DS Specialties is at 5. I think that's going to be the winner. I don't see Shawdell, sorry. 3D is at 13 grams. Clint's 9 grams. Jacob Talley's 11. Yeah, I think C3DS Customs 3D Special. That's a long name. C3DS Custom 3D Specialties. Oh, it's the name shortened. Okay, I'm not going to say it twice then, because I don't like doing that ATM machine thing. So C3DS. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I love you so much, I promise. I think you're the winner. You're the winner by like a gram, because Clint was right behind you with 9 grams. So yeah, alright, cool buddy. You win a kilogram of PLA Plus from our fantastic company, FOKOOS. I will get this guy sent over your way. I'll even include this guy. I'll throw this in the box with it. I don't know if it'll survive, but he's gonna be trying to make the trip with the filament. We'll see. But yeah, if there's any questions, if anybody has anything they want to ask, any sort of other technical things or any firmware things, anything at all, let me know what you want to do. I think I mentioned something about replacing the rollers, but I mean, mine are a little bit worn, but honestly, they don't really need it yet. Maybe I can go through and do like an accessory pack thing video where I go through the accessory pack and I just replace everything that it comes with. I mean, again, I don't need to do any of this yet to mine, but I'll do it for you guys. I think, you know, I can do the rollers, I could do the hot end swap, replace the runout sensor, do the runout sensor mod too. That would be cool. Maybe replace a ribbon cable, even though I don't have to, and that'll be a nightmare. But let's see. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else asking any questions. I think we're basically good to go. If you guys have any comments or any suggestions or any sort of feedback on my setup here, audio or video wise, please let me know. Always looking for ways to improve the setup. The less complaints I garner from the people, the better. Make sure you join the Facebook group. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hate this video because dislikes don't matter anymore. I'm kidding. But yeah, until next time, we'll have a video again soon. Congrats again to the winner. You guys enjoy the rest of your Jacob Talley having issues with over extrusion since I had my SKR2. Oh man, that's a completely different. It's a whole different video. You're having issues with over extrusion since you added your SKR2. Most likely, if you don't have a BMG extruder, my firmware is pre-coded for the BMG extruder on the SKR2. So the BMG is normally around 412, 414 E-steps. And then on my firmware with the SKR, you're running into micro stepping, which is going to bring your steps up times 8. So it's like 3,296 or something E-steps for the BMG. But if you have a stock extruder, it's like 100 E-steps times 8, so you end up at like 800 or something like that. So set it at like 792 or something like that, and see how your print looks then if you're still running the stock extruder. But yeah, definitely need to do some E-steps calibrations in your printer. All right, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sticking around if you did. Till next time, guys. See ya.